Hello and welcome back to another video. Hope everyone's doing okay out there. Can't complain, doing all right. And we are back with some more Diablo 4. I've been grinding this game out way more than I thought I would, to be honest with you. I've had some ups and downs. But definitely learning some stuff. Trying to figure out some stuff. It's been kind of fun. I'm not even gonna lie. Just to trying to figure out the game is really kind of what's been pulling me into it. I would say the content is second to trying to figure out the game. And I know this isn't in depth like POE and stuff like that for sure, but there is some things to try to navigate in this game for sure. Like it's not the Paragon isn't anywhere near as detailed as the one in the tree and the skill tree in PoE for sure. But still, you do have to think about what you're doing if you want to try to maximize as much damage as possible. Like something that's kind of been catching me up recently with this character, my rogue, is just trying to do more. Trying to figure out the importance of non-physical damage for me versus obviously physical, and with that being in mind, like because all my skills are physical damage, but does that matter when it comes to these rare nodes? So I've been trying to get these kind of high with this glyph here, but I don't know if that's helping me or not, because this is non-physical damage, and the only non-physical damage I do is poison with these current skills, because I looked up a couple of skill trees, a couple of builds online. But before I get into that, let's do a little update on the whole mythic, because this is the whole point of these videos. Almost at the beginning, I was obsessed with getting all trying to get these mythics. And I've managed to get a third mythic. Now, I was gonna just spark it and trash it, but I say, you know what? Let me at least try it. Maybe it's I can make some magic work with it. And I was looking at a couple builds for my rogue, and one of them was the Rain of Arrows. Somebody's outside with a V8. Nice, dude. But the Rain of Arrows build, which I was trying to like get down. I mean, I would say this is my highest damage character, even higher than my sorcerer right now. Because I'm pretty confident at this point in Torment 3. My damage is pretty high. I mean, even though my attack power is the lowest probably out of all the characters I built, that's because I just don't have these current armor I'm using. I can't generate a lot of dexterity. Most of my dexterity is coming from the Paragon tree, probably. Everything else, it's because I'm using a bunch of ancestral gear, trying to figure out this build that I'm running. It's pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. I've just been finding random stuff that I've just been, because trying to find specific stuff is very frustrating in this game, because you could find the gear, like the piece that you need, but it'll be like item power 750, because it won't have any like boosted stats on the gear. It'll just be plain. So it's you feel like you're cheating yourself almost if you put any time into it. I do have two pieces that are like that. One is this ring that I just swapped, because I had this one on before, and then I found this one, and I felt like it worked better with my build, because it gave me the rapid fire bonuses. So I'm like, even though there's no boosts on any of the stats, I just took it and just boosted it up. So but I do like it because of the damage boost it gives to rapid fire, which I use a lot. And then these boots, which I needed for the build online, and you can only get them from doing the was it Beast and Ice, I believe, which I've done it multiple times, and for some reason these just wouldn't drop. I ended up getting these boots from doing the Belial run and then switching it to the Beast of Ice and then the boots dropped. So go figure. But apparently you needed this for the energy generation, I think. What was the point of these boots? Oh, the cooldown reduction for your ultimate. But there's other things that give you that. Oh yeah, and the energy generation, because using a cooldown restores 25 energy. So I guess this build consumes a massive amount of energy, and you're trying to replenish that for whatever reason. These gloves I'm using for the stun duration. It's pretty sick, I'm gonna be honest, because the 51% stun duration, you're pretty much stunning people, monsters all the time. There are very few times they're not stunned, so that helps a lot. The boots, like I said, this weapon is for the build that I saw online, and pretty much what you're trying to do is make your ultimate do as much damage as possible. And it's very inconsistent with the crits and the damage, but I'm trying to figure it out. That's the fun. I'm trying to figure it out. And then also you're trying to get your cooldown as low as possible. I actually managed to reach the lowest you can get. It's like 10 seconds, 25. But I swapped out this piece because this is the one with this has the 65%, 66% cooldown reduction. So that'll get me down to 10 seconds. But the ultimate damage, when I end up finding this one, it had a bunch of ultimate damage. So I thought that might be more helpful. So I swapped it out. But I'm kind of noticing the difference, kind of not. I might end up going back to the low cooldown just so I can spam them more. But you don't, 2 seconds or whatever, you kind of notice it, but not really. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, so I end up crafting another mythic set, and I got this, which like I said earlier, I was going to trash it because, it's so situational. You can't really use it other than what I'm trying to do with it now, which for a rogue, maybe you could use, what? I think I've seen druids can shroud, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but can stealth. But yeah, I was like, maybe I'll just use it for technically any character you put this on could benefit from the stealth. Not just druids, but it felt like it made more sense to use it on the rogue to me. Maybe I'm bugging, but so I'm using it on this, and then also I crafted my ring, which I was gonna spark as well. As soon as I got it, I got triggered, but I'm using it on this rogue, because it seemed like it would help more on this. Maybe I think I was using it too on my Spiritborn. That it was kind of working a little bit up there, and then also the very first one I got that I was crying about when I first got it. I've been using this. I took it off of my my barbarian, excuse me. I took it off my barbarian, put it on this too. So now I have 3, and even though I just said this is my highest damage build probably right now, not probably, it definitely is. Do I think these 2 mythics contributed to that? For sure, but you don't need these mythics, I feel like, to get. Obviously the build didn't call for any mythics at all. It did call for pretty specific gear pieces and pretty specific way you leveled them or whatever, but without that, the build's not horrible. It's obviously it's not the best, but yeah, and I got these mythics off of crafting, just leveling up multiple characters and just going through the seasonal content and getting the spark or whatever it's called at the very end, and using that to craft these 3. And Is it worth it? Was it worth it? Probably not. I mean, not probably. I mean, no, it wasn't worth it. Not completely not worth it, but I mean, it was fun leveling, trying to figure out the game and stuff like that, leveling different characters. I mean, that was cool. But these are, the way they have these things set up, it's kind of disappointing. I mean, I feel like putting that much effort and time into trying to get these mythics to help you get to Torment 4, because that's the whole goal, for the most part, is to get to the end game. The end game is Torment 4. I mean, this is, just to do the highest damage, the hardest bosses, and you want the gear to get there. And I've just doing the content, I feel like the game hasn't been helping me at all to get to that point, to get the Torment 4. I really feel like I've been clawing tooth and nail, and spending that time to get your reward, which is the spark or whatever. I can't. What is it even called? I keep saying spark, but it's probably not even that at all. Oh, it is spark. Yeah, so you can get the spark, to feel like you've accomplished something. Like, yes, I grinded out this, the seasonal content, and I get this spark, so I can finally get a mythic. You only get one, so you're gonna have to grind out at least 2 characters, the seasonal content, to get one mythic piece. And that's not, I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the gaming sphere, but it's time consuming for sure. And then to get something that you're like staring at, like, what is this? What can I use this for? I mean, I see why they do the all stats. They should make the all stats higher, in my opinion. Maybe I'm just bugging, but I feel like if you sacrifice focusing in on dexterity in this case, which is going to give me, higher damage with my skills, you sacrifice that for all this other stuff, which, my strength is really high. To me, this is, and I don't have any other characters where all these all these other core, these stats are high. It's mostly just like my sorcerer, it's just intelligence. Like, I just put all my effort in, all my gear into intelligence, and that end up, you hit a wall eventually with that, like I did with my sorcerer. I mean, my sorcerer was my highest, the highest damage character until I got to Torment 3, and then it kind of like plateaued, and that's when I started doing different. I started going down the mythic hole, because I thought maybe that was going to help me. If I just get these mythic pieces, I can put them on my sorcerer, and then my sorcerer will do more damage, and then I can move, start progressing into the pit and all that stuff. And all the gear I was getting, I just couldn't use it with my sorcerer, like, at all. So that's when I started making more characters. Like, okay, but maybe I can use these mythics for something else, instead of salvaging them, then just getting one spark and then potentially rolling it and not, so that to me, that wasn't viable. I still haven't found any mythics to drop for me. I must have extremely bad luck. I know someone, a coworker actually, who plays, and they say they find them. They've had multiple mythics drop, and they all, yeah, they say it's not an issue for them, which is, insane. Because I just can't find one. I just can't get one to drop, no matter what content, no matter what bosses I fight. I haven't done 1,000, but I mean, maybe I have. I haven't been keeping track, to be honest with you, but I've done a lot. So multiple characters, running the bosses, and I haven't got any to drop, but just these. But I haven't gotten multiple, boosted affixes gear to drop either. I mean, I see people, like, as you can see, look at, they're just blowing it up. 4 star, 3 star, 4 star, 4 star, 4 star, 4 star, 4 times in one day. They've got they boosted affixes to drop 4 times in one day. So, yeah, there you go. So some people are just really lucky, I guess. But to get that 4 times in one day, it just seems weird. I don't want to dive into like conspiracy theories, but I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, so I've been trying to, get a character, use what I've gotten from the game, what the game has allowed me to have, and try to use it to my advantage to at least make it possible for me to boost up into the tournament, or be able to be a little bit more self-sufficient to where I don't necessarily need to rely on, you know, a group, which is not bad to group up. I mean, that's part of a lot, you know, a big part of these games is to social, you know, circles or whatever. But if I want to run some you know, some pits, or I want to run some, you know, layer bosses, I can feel confident that I can do it on my own. I mean, I might not one hit it or whatever. It might take a little bit of time, you know, 5 minutes or whatever, but I could do it. That's, you know, my goal for me personally. So yeah, you know, so all in all, in the update, the mythic grind has been a bit of a letdown, but I'm making it work. You know, that's the challenge for me right now, is trying to make this work. You know, these three, and like I said, it's kind of had worked out. You know, I've kind of pivoted. I think I need to work more on my Paragon. I think I'm kind of just like doing random stuff that's not really helping my character at all. But I might have to rework. But I'm gonna see. I'm gonna put some time into it and then see what I can do. So that way, when the next season comes, I'll have a little bit more knowledge under my belt, so I know what directions I can go in first, and not just be doing something random. But I've been getting more and more deeper into this game. You know, I've kind of said I wanted to focus in on something because it's been so long since I actually focused in on a game and tried to better myself in it. Other than like, man, I don't even know. Other than like a first-person shooter, honestly. I mean, I've been doing those for years, but yeah. So just for fun, you know, just to see, I'm not just so it's not all talk. Let's run a pit real quick. I don't think I have any pit runs on my and recorded. So this video is going to be a bit of a longer one. You know, hold on to your butts. So let's just do. So I do have 4. You know, I can go 4 because of another character, but I'm not doing that. I don't have any character that can go 4, so I'll do 3. Just so y'all can see, you know, get an idea of what I'm working with. Again, it's not the fastest. It's not the, you know, I'm not beating any records. I'm not one-hitting monsters, but for an average Joe like me, I'm pretty happy with. So what you got to do is Shroud. Obviously, I let my team person kind of get him, and then, well, I messed that up. But pretty much you're supposed to Shroud, and then Shroud, and then ult. That's kind of the strategy. And then the ult does most of the damage. But you know, it's kind of it's a little tricky. It's a little more in, you know, not in depth, but a little more in depth than the average build that I'm used to playing, where you just kind of just kill. To get the most out of this one, you kind of have to. I just wish that I hate these. I don't. This is the worst. Like, why do they? Why is that even in the game? Stupid shields, dude.
It needs time to recharge.
It's so stupid. It just slows the game down unnecessarily.
I need more energy.
Like, I just wish that your character would just group everyone up. When you're stealth, he follows you, which is good because I use him as a bait. The monsters will kind of group around him so I can get some distance and then rain down terror like this. But sometimes he'll just like teleport to you and it messes up my whole rotation.
I need more time. I need more energy.
Group up, please. This way, this way.
More energy.
So yeah, your energy just kind of disappears like that. And then you gotta like build it back up.
I'm low on energy.
And then that my gloves, like I said, have that stun effect, that 51% lucky hit chance. So that kind of just locks them all in place. Let the alt build up. Do this, do that. Let the alt build. And that rotation.
have enough energy.
So yeah, I can be a bit more efficient with the rotation for sure, but that's the gist of it. It's pretty fun, man. You know, it's definitely the easiest character I have to run these pits. I mean, everyone else, it's either I definitely don't have the damage, and then I might have the survivability, but the survivability on this is pretty good, as you can see. Like, I don't have to focus too hard on like dodging boss, attacks. I can kind of just tank them for the most part. Oh, nice. Yeah, man. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I've been having some decent time at the game. I haven't really hit a wall. I mean, I know some people power level. They have more time to play. They burn through the content. They hit a wall and then they kind of give up. But I haven't experienced that because I just don't have a lot of time to play. So the time I do have to play, I'm always trying to experiment and trying to do something to boost my, my damage and make it so I'm more efficient, or so I haven't hit that wall. Maybe if I get too good, maybe because I suck, I just don't, but also I don't absorb a huge amount of content on Diablo 4, especially outside of just kind of Reddit posts and other little websites I kind of jump on just to find like a build idea, but I don't watch too many YouTube videos, which I should. I have watched some, but just not a bunch. But maybe I'll be a bit more effective with my builds, and then I'll hit a wall faster, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, if you have time, some time to play, but not a lot of time to play, like you don't burn through the content super fast. I kind of was doing that with the seasonal content, but that wasn't really the point of me even doing this seasonal content, was to get the spark. I mean, that was really it. I mean, the content in it itself wasn't boring. I say like 1 or 2 plays through your first time, you're like, oh, okay. After that, you just get sparks. Yeah, it's like, yeah, this is boring. But getting the sparks and then crafting the mythics was really what was kind of fun to me. I know there's a couple of mythics out there that are just, generally good, not situationally good or whatever. Will I ever get them? I don't know. Probably not. I don't see myself leveling up another character. I might do a druid. That's really the only thing I haven't done yet, is a druid, because I've done this rogue, sorcerer, barbarian, a necromancer, which I was gonna try to get better on the necro, but I started focusing in on the rogue because that was the latest one I did, was the necromancer, and I just couldn't. I don't know. That's a hard one for me. I can't really figure out what I mean, I get the dead is, your minions is supposed to be like the bread and butter, but I don't know, maybe I'll give that another shot. But yep, with that being said, man, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. If you're playing Diablo and like me for a while and I was just kind of floundering, hopefully I'm able to give you a little bit of direction. I'm not a professional in any way, but as a novice like me, I'm starting to kind of build up a little bit of steam and starting to get the build down with this rogue. Man, if it can help you in any way, mission accomplished. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.